Hello and welcome to round 4 of the 2017 Formula Virtual World Championship here from Shanghai, China. My name is Bradley Downton and I'm joined today after his holiday. He's back. It's Harry Westwood.
Hello guys, great to be back.
Let's take a look through the grid then for the Chinese V-Prix. It's Klaas van Snelheid with his maiden pole position following up from his victory last time out. Enrique Ruiz alongside with Arden Hutchinson a brilliant third ahead of Puccio Giordano on his debut for Franklin. Nathaniel Powers 5th with Wagner in 6th behind him. Will Hoskins, Adrian Simon, Alar Kanga and Timo Kinnaman round out the top 10. Aaron Einerson is 11th on the super soft tyres. The softs are the favoured option, but there are a few exceptions. Felix Baer is 12th ahead of Schneider and Sykes. Chiara Thunder, the second home fist on the mediums, ahead of Stuart Harrison, rounding out row A. Alexei Nowosinski and Carson Davenport, John Matson and Jochen van Snelheid driving for Ocelot. He is on the mediums, he rounds out the top 20. Then you have Karl Beckenbauer, Nikolai Milkovic on the mediums, James Harding with that grid penalty, Johan Halverson 24th, Douglas Bacon 25th, and at the back with another penalty, Ola Nimman, and on the hard tyres. So as we go down to the grid then, we have Klaas van Snelheid on the right on pole position, Enrique Ruiz second on the left. The lights go out now and we're racing in China. It's a brilliant start from Klaas van Snelheid while Ruiz has struggled away. Puccio Giordano is already past Arden Hutchinson and he's going to go around the outside of Ruiz at turn 1. Puccio Giordano is into second then, while Arden Hutchinson is wheel to wheel with Enrique Ruiz. Elroy Wagner is attacking Nathaniel Powers for 5th. Ruiz and Hutchinson still wheel to wheel, and Hutchinson will have the inside line, but Ruiz sweeps around the outside and takes third place then. Meanwhile, Klaas van Snelheid and Puccio Giordano have already disappeared long up the road. It's Ruiz third, Hutchinson fourth, Wagner fifth, as Alar Kanga dives to the inside of the AMR of Will Hoskins. The two Westwoods go wheel to wheel. Kanga is through up to 8th, then Simon has already gone past into 7th.
That was a crazy start to the first lap. Some fantastic driving between Hutchinson and Ruiz. And they did really well to keep not give each other a single inch.
Absolutely, as Einerson there swept around the outside of one of the Westwoods, but the two Franklins up front then are wheel to wheel already. It's Ruiz attacking Giordano and he's going to go through down the inside. He's over the curb, but he's back up into second place, and Ruiz is, he closed that gap significantly because Giordano had stretched ahead quite a bit.
Yeah, I think there must have been a mistake from Giordano there, because he did have a fairly sizable gap back to his Brazilian teammate, but now he's got Arden Hutchinson right on his tail going down the main straight.
Yeah, Giordano then he's gone
line
to cover. He's actually cut right to the inside, and Elroy Wagner follows, and Giordano is late on the brakes down the inside and is so close to contact between the two Franklins, but Giordano is through and back into second as one of the AMRs is in trouble. But it's Giordano has gone through, back into second then, and I think Ruiz is coming under pressure from Hutchinson. He's wide around the final corner, and Hutchinson is through.
Here comes Wagner. They're going to be three wide going into turn 1. Hutchinson's already got the place back, so he's already into third. Here comes Powers as well, wants in on the fun.
Wagner, he's far down the inside. He's over the grass and he spins, and that holds up Nathaniel Powers, who loses out a position to, I think that's Alar Kanga. Wagner, it's all gone wrong. He's parked it in front of an Ocelot. That's a bad error.
That's disgraceful. That is, honestly, he's made Wagner.
Although he's turned himself completely around. That's quite impressive.
Two other people's races. I think Lopez might have to start having words with their drivers soon about how to rejoin the track safely, because we saw it from Harding last.
Here we go then. This is on board with Douglas Bacon at the start of the race. There was a fun that went round. And that's Bacon out.
No chance. To be fair, the car's still holding. No.
So here we go. This is on board with Carson Davenport then. So what? Well, to be fair, there was nothing that Carson could have done about that.
No, he was kind of just stopped and waiting for an opportunity, and Bacon just piled right into the front of him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was just a case of unsighted as a racing incident.
Yeah, but back on the matter of Wagner, it's a shame that he spun out, but ridiculous move trying to take to the grass like that, and completely unsafe. And well, I'd be hoping that the stewards would be taking a look at that, which would be a shame for Lopez in themselves, as, that would be the second time in as many races.
Yeah, as down the inside of one of the Westwoods comes Will Hoskins, rather out of control, but he manages to get some stop as Klaas van Snelheid sets a fast slap, and it's up onto two wheels for Adrian Simon. I do believe Klaas is absolutely up the road already.
Yeah, he is. He's working on building himself a gap, even though he's on the same tyres. He's really looks to have the pace today.
Yeah, obviously Oh, go on.
Power's under attack.
Yeah, that's
from
Alarkanga then.
Alarkanga.
He's gone around the outside of turn 1. Can he get the inside line of turn 2? He can't. Powers cuts him off. But doesn't look like there's a lot of pace in that Downton at the moment. He's fallen quite a way back from Enrique Ruiz.
No, this could be a time management game that Downton are trying to play, or they could be trying to give Klaas a nice buffer back to the pack.
It certainly could be, as in the pits then
ahead.
comes Elroy Wagner, so that obviously he's picked up some damage from that incident.
Well, you'd think. They've got to also check for damage to the floor. Bouncing over that grass isn't going to do his car any favours at all.
No, absolutely. And here we go then, we've got an onboard. So he was down inside, but I don't quite know what he was playing at there.
No, he just
Just turned in far too early.
It's something we haven't really seen from him, really, since the inception of this series. Don't forget, a driver who's been out, around about the top 5 or so since the first season. So, for such a seasoned driver to make such a stupid mistake is quite unusual.
Yeah, it certainly is then. As up front, Klaas van Snelheid is absolutely miles ahead already. Puccio Giordano holding on in second, as we've got coming 3 wide into the hairpin. They're never going to make that work, and well, they did. It's the Meteor that's got ahead.
It's a well-calculated move. He defended the line when he had to after he'd gained the place.
Yeah, as Aaron Einerson there in 8th place on the super soft tyres, defending from the 2 Westwoods. But Timo Kinnaman's going to dive down inside, but he's not quite going to make it work. Einerson shuts the door. As Schneider now trying to go around the outside of his teammate. We jump on board. What a beautiful move from Finn Schneider. But Timo Kinnaman's going to come back at him as they go around turn 2, but he can't make it work, and Schneider is through.
Schneider finding the grip around the outside there, which was a very impressive job. Obviously, Timo did have a compromised line, but
as behind, that's Kiara Thunder diving down the inside of Will Hoskins. Will Hoskins has lost a lot of places in this the first few laps of this race.
Yeah, now he's coming under pressure from his teammate Felix Bayer, who is subject to quite a high-priced bidding war at the moment. So a lot of the team principals are going to be able to see what they're trying to pay for.
Absolutely. As we go on board then with Arden Hutchinson and the Austrian driving in that first, holding on incredibly well to the coattails of Puccio Giordano. I have to say, I didn't expect that.
No, I think everyone's quite surprised by Hutchinson's pace. I really don't know what to make of it. He did a fantastic job in qualifying.
Giordano cuts to the inside then. Hutchinson is challenging. Surely he's going to get the cutback out of the hairpin. No, Giordano's got the drive then. Hutchinson can't quite make it work there.
Yeah, he looked to have the right idea, but he just didn't have the grip.
Oh, but Giordano has struggled around the final corner and got it out of shape. And Hutchinson is well in his wheel tracks now. Will he try and make a move down to someone as Einerson up onto 2 wheels? He's escaped now from the 2 Westwoods though.
Absolutely. You'd think he'd be trying to make his super soft
work
a little bit.
Sorry, at turn 1, Hutchinson around the outside of Puccio Giordano. He's going to have the inside line around turns 2 and 3. He's going to get it done. Hutchinson is through into second.
Wow. If you'd have told me if you'd have said that sentence last race, I wouldn't have believed you.
As Puccio Giordano is going to try and battle him back here. Enrique Ruiz is rapidly closing in on the pair of them now. But Hutchinson up into second place then for first.
And this is just further helping.
And that's, no, Giordano doesn't capitalise, he backs off. And surely that will mean Ruiz is right on the tail of the pair of them now.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job to hold that slide though. It was very impressive driving and excellent car control. But, I mean, plus all of this scrapping is massively helping Klaas van Snelheid up front.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if we can try and get a view of them on the same straight and see how far ahead he is at the moment.
Hutchinson is actually gapping now back to Giordano.
Yeah, as Ruiz has caught them. Powers and the 2 DS Mastershore cars of Kanga and Seaman are closing up as well.
Yeah, Kanga and Simon looking to pile a lot of pressure on the Franklins, hopefully, but I don't think anyone expected this from Hutchinson. Everyone expected him to fall off.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with the train of cars that he's got behind him.
Yeah, I mean, see, he's got a train behind him, but at the same time, I don't think it's due to his pace.
No, I think it's just the pace of the other cars. You can't say he's as quick as the Franklins, the Downton and the 2 DS Mastershores that you've got behind him. But he's holding his own at the moment. As Ruiz and Giordano side by side once again. Ruiz can't quite make this one work. Giordano looks as though he's maybe starting to struggle a little bit now. Let's not forget though, this is his first race in that car. There is a lot of learning that will take place.
Absolutely, and also the fact that it's going to be just more physically demanding. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do. But I don't think we should expect
Ruiz has
him
caught the curb,
Oh.
and that puts him sideways, which is allowing Nathaniel Powers to close right up onto his rear wing, but not make a move or anything just at this moment.
No, I mean, I think they... wow, look at Hutchinson go.
Yeah, he's gapping them now. As I say, I think Giordano is just starting to struggle slightly.
Yeah, definitely. And unfortunately,
that's where
it's
this
quite a
train
long
is.
race as well.
Yeah, and that's where this train is forming now. Behind Giordano, they're saying that he has broken away ever so slightly from Ruiz after that. Ruiz? Yeah.
Ruiz.
As Powers is closing in the slipstream of Ruiz. We're not going to see if he's going to make a move down into... No, he didn't. I just wondered if he might dive down the inside at the hairpin.
Well, it seems to be quite common amongst the drivers at the moment. A long distance dive on the inside. It seems to be working though.
Yeah, certainly does. As we have a yellow flag flashing up in sector 1.
Gone away now.
Please don't
Back.
be class.
That would be funny.
No, it wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't. The Westwood drivers are keeping each other very honest. I mean, it's only 7 laps in, but they're already, like, we see this a lot. They seem to be right with each other constantly.
Have they ever been separated in a race?
I don't believe they have.
Fairly
Australia,
sure
I
there's a
believe
bit
they
of
finished,
rope
like...
tying them together.
Yeah, they're just towing each other along, really. I mean, what, Malaysia, 3rd and 4th, last race, 6th and 7th?
Yeah, and Australia 9th and 10th. They've
They just
literally
like to
finished
finish
in
together.
consecutive positions every race so far this season.
I think that's probably one of the most consistent driver pairings we've ever seen.
As there we got then Klaas-Van Snelheid out front and very much on his own.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably going to be getting a bit bored, really. Here comes Hutchinson now.
So Klaas must be about halfway down the back straight as Hutchinson is coming onto it.
Yeah, that sounds like a solid 10-second, maybe even 15-second lead.
No, I wouldn't say it's that. It's probably about 5.
I disagree with everything you stand for.
Fair enough.
Maybe just the stat.
As I think Einarsson's pace is going to be one to watch. He's obviously he is on the super soft tyres.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. But he is starting to close up onto the back of Adrian Simon.
See, for me, he hasn't really been making visible inroads in the last few laps. I think he's maxing out on his pace at the moment. He's got to be at the absolute ceiling of his lap time.
It would be as Puccio Giordano is closed right back up onto Arden Hutchinson, then going around the outside of turn 1. That will give him the inside line for 2 and 3. Surely he's going to make it work. He is on the inside. Then Puccio Giordano goes back up to second.
Looks like something's snapped him in him again. He's remembered how to race. And he's defending the inside line now, coming under attack again from Arden Hutchinson. Ruiz is piling the pressure on the Australian from behind.
Yeah, but you've got to hand it to Giordano. You can forgive him for his racecraft being a little rusty. He's not run at the front for
Some time.
a season and 3 races now.
Last time he ran at the front, Westwood were winning races.
Exactly, that's how long ago it was.
And I think he's I'm gonna just smooth over that. It looks like he seems a bit more comfortable in the car again now, so he might just have a brief wobble.
Yeah,
But,
it's entirely possible he caught that curb that we've seen a couple of them catch. In fact, it's already caught Hutchinson out once this race.
Yeah.
On the left-hander of turn, what must be about 6?
Oh, here we go. We've got Hutchinson defending now from Enrique Ruiz. I think his tyres might be starting to let go.
Oh no, he's gone down the inside of
Hutchinson
Giordano
dives.
even, and I think there was contact there between the two of
Ruiz
them.
is going to be right on the back of him.
Yeah, that's going to give Ruiz a fantastic run if he can nail the final corner, which he can, but Hutchinson did as well, so...
Another yellow flag in Sector 1.
Meanwhile, as that's Nathaniel Powers defending from Alar Kanga. Is Kanga going to dive to the inside? He's not. but Adrian Simon is right there as well. Surely Kanga, as he's going to go around the outside of turn 1, that will give him the inside for turns 2 and 3, and surely Alar Kanga is going to go through here as Enrique Ruiz takes 3rd place from Arden Hutchinson, who's out, and Kanga has gone through into 5th.
Wow, fantastic stuff. If you look at that replay from Kanga, he was just battling the car for grip all the way around that corner, absolutely at the limit of the car's grip. That was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful move from the Estonian. And now Aaron Einerson is on the back of Adrian Simon.
You'd like to think so.
Well, he is. That was the image.
I know. I have eyes as well. They're amazing.
In fact,
They're
the
not,
two Westwoods are starting to close in as well as this, well, string of cars starts squabbling. Giordano is breaking away now then in 2nd place. I think Ruiz is going to follow him. Hutchinson's pace, I reckon, is probably just going to start dropping off slightly now.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, he's done fantastically well to be where he is already, and he should be proud of himself. And he's driving an immense race. And obviously, I can imagine over at First Garage they'll be biting their nails so much they won't have any left by about lap 15.
As just a shout out to James Harding. Obviously, he had that 10th-place grid penalty, which put him 23rd on the grid. Already back up to 13th.
That's actually quite...
As Klaas van Snelheid is across the line as the two Franklins are exiting the hairpin. And into the pits then is Aaron Einerson from 8th place. So that will be a 5 stopper on those super softs.
That's going to hurt him. Obviously, it's not too... It's a bit easier to overtake here, but that's going to make his afternoon a lot trickier, I think.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's obviously going to depend on how many stops everyone else is making on the soft tyres, but I think that's going to cause him a little bit of grief. It'd be interesting to see where he feeds back out, actually, having been in 8th.
He's fed back out in 17th.
That's not too bad then.
True.
Definitely going to be one to, as the only driver on the super softs, definitely going to be one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, if he can make them work, get the heat into them quickly and start carving his way through the field. As we've now got, Simon is dropping off slightly from the group, and he's falling back into the clutches of Schneider, which is not where you want to be, as he doesn't really seem to have a regard for.
No, I know exactly what you mean. Schneider does not regard for reputation. He would just drive past anyone.
I was thinking more conventional overtakes.
There's that as well. As Alar Kanga right in the wheel tracks of Arden Hutchinson then for 4th place. And you'd imagine there's probably going to be a move here somewhere, possibly around the outside of turn 1 again.
Yeah, that would be a great move to watch. I mean, I might not, but it would be brilliant. No, but it was some fantastic driving. And don't forget, this is his first season driving in Formula Virtual, and he's just going for it, really.
Yeah, he certainly is. The two Franklins not really getting away from Arden Hutchinson.
No. No, well.
Insightful as always. Harry is back, ladies and gentlemen.
Giordano doesn't seem to be struggling so much with it, but Ruiz, strangely, seems to be struggling to keep pace with his Italian teammate.
Yes, very good. As we see one of the Ocelots battling, that's Jochen van Snelheid then battling with, I believe, Johan Halverson, and I think that's Jochen defending actually.
Jochen, I don't think is going to be very happy in that car. Obviously, arguably somewhat harshly dropped by Franklin. It's really split the paddock down the middle, actually, in the last week or so.
Yeah.
What do you make of it?
Yeah, it certainly has. I mean, I think I was in the same boat as about, as you say, half the team, because that was a point of comment. Yeah, I think it's a little bit unfair on Jochen to decide that after just 3 races. Considering as well, he did take a pole position. So he's clearly got pace, although he has noticeably struggled in the races.
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe that's just something that comes with being
Going to
in
put you on
a
hold there
quick
for a second
car.
because I think he's coming under attack from Halverson, but we're going to cut away so you can continue.
I think that just comes with being in a quick car for the first time. You know, it's not something he's used to. Even as Giordano's shown here, he's, well, I don't want to say struggling, but, you know, at times he's looked as though the pace has slipped off. And he's a former race winner.
See, I can see where you're coming from, but I'm going to argue that I think what Franklin have done is a fantastic move. They've got, don't forget, Jochen was running for a brief period of time at the start of 2016 in a car that was capable of scrapping for podiums, and he often found himself bested by James Harding. Now, I think it's the kind of cutthroat decisions like that Franklin are making. Like, they've managed to take a top quality driver whilst not surrendering any money to a rival in doing so. And now they've got arguably the strongest driver lineup on the grid, which is what you want when you're 3-time world champions.
Yeah,
but I can see where you're coming from.
You know, I don't. Yeah, they have got a strong lineup now with Giordano. It's going to be interesting to see how he performs. As we see there, Ruiz is absolutely right on his rear wing. Yeah, we'll wait and see how he performs.
It's going to be interesting to see the way it plays out. Obviously, Ruiz has very much gone from playing.
Oh, as Nathaniel Powers here is potentially challenging Alar Kanga. He's gone to the outside of turn 1. Is he going to be able to get alongside and pull the inside line for turn 2? I don't think he is. He's too far back, and Kanga is going to hold on to that position.
Car kind of looks like it's understeering a little bit there. So whether he's just suffering the turbulent air of Alar Kanga will remain to be seen. But he's definitely keeping the young Estonian honest.
He could, and they're all still there then. 2nd through to 7th place, and the 2 Westwoods in 8th and 9th, not far off either. It's really quite close, this, apart from Klaas van Snelheid up in the lead.
Yeah, that's the only part of the race that we wanted it to be close about. But Klaas is going to be very happy with himself at the moment. But he's just going to be praying that that Downton engine that's proven tricky in the last few races is going to hold itself together.
Yep, and he's not the only one that's praying. As we jump on board with Judson Sykes then 14th. Now that's a story. What has happened to North Star?
What's the story in Balamory? Wouldn't you like to know? North Star. I just realised that I just went all Balamory. Like, loads of people are going to watch this. See, that's interesting. I believe that their first few races were a fluke, and already we've seen that the cars are
Klaas van Snelheid in the pits!
Already? That'd be a 4-stopper.
Yeah, now that is very interesting because none of the others are.
Ooh,
no one else on the soft tyres has pitted.
So that's 14, 28, 42. So he can just about do a 3-stopper if he can make his tyres go 14 laps each time. But you are right. So obviously being out
sorry,
like
that's Kanga around the outside of Hutchinson.
Oh, it is.
And Powers is coming under attack from Adrian Seaman. He's not going to make it, and he's going to get Hutchinson as well, surely.
Oh.
Beautiful move from Nathaniel Powers. Hutchinson is going to come back at him, though, on the inside. No, Powers shuts the door. But Kanga started that off and eased Hutchinson wide. Beautiful move once again from the Estonian. Van Snelheid has rejoined in 10th place, just behind Will Hoskins.
I think that was really good craftsmanship, actually, there from Nathaniel Powers. Reading this, letting Simon challenge him for the place, but obviously, after seeing Alar Kanga go through, was able to follow the young Estonian and take the place.
Yeah, and that puts Giordano then into the lead of the Chinese V-Prix. It'll be interesting to see if anyone pits this time around. Who else have we had in? Only Einarsson, Wagner and Davenport, and the last two have came in for damage early on.
Oh wait, Klaas would have pitted at the end of lap 13, so that is a 4-stopper.
It is, you're quite right.
It's anyone who pits this
Although he's already attacking Will Hoskins then, and down the inside as they come into the hairpin. And while he is a pit stop behind, as Giordano dives in now, so they've only gone a lap longer. Ruiz pits as well. Kanga hasn't, and nor has Powers, so they're all going to go 2 more laps further than Klaas van Snelheid.
Now that's interesting. Who else is coming in the pits?
In come the 2 Franklins. Adrian Simon is in as well. Kinnaman is in.
Yeah. Oh, the order. Let's just wait for it to settle down.
Now, it'd be interesting to see if any of these come out anywhere in relation to Will Hoskin. To Aaron Einarsson, sorry. Einarsson is past the lot of them.
Wow. Oh, but don't forget he's going to be pitting next lap.
No, it'd be lap 20. Pitted on lap 10.
Oh yeah, my mistake. I can't count. But what a mega job from the
Icelandic driver.
the flying Iceland.
Yeah, that didn't quite work.
No. So the top 4 are probably going to be on a comfortable 3-stop, whereas anyone behind them is going to really be finding it quite tight there.
Yeah, so if Klaas pitted on lap 13, that's what? 13, 26, 39, and 52.
Oh.
However, in one stint alone, he's nearly eked out a pit stop on those that he's battling.
That's true.
If he can keep up that kind of pace, he's going to have over a pit stop in hand anyway.
That could be the strategy, and it would also explain the pace difference between him and Nathaniel Powers running 2 different races.
Yeah, however, let's take this into account, as Kanga now dives in, as does Powers, as does Hutchinson. So, lap 15 then. So we've got quite a difference. We've got 13 and 15. If Klaas can eke out his tyres, as he sets the fastest lap of 38.5.
Whoa. Boy's getting a move on.
If he can eke out his tyres in these other stints, he can get this on a 3-stopper. Oh, as Kanga's going to pull out in front of... I thought that was going to be closer than it turned out, actually.
Yeah, I mean, well, is it Kanga?
Where are they going to come back out in relation to the Franklins then? Kanga is fed right into the middle, and there was contact there, surely, with Kanga and Giordano. In fact, Ruiz has jumped Giordano in the pits. Powers comes out just behind them, but Kanga has split the Franklins.
Yeah, obviously he did it in arguably a very aggressive fashion, but he managed to get himself up to speed and take the place, so fair play to him, I say.
Yeah, I just want to make a note that Holmquist are currently running 2nd and 3rd.
That upsets my brain. Wait, Chiara's on the softs, right?
Chiara's on the mediums.
That would explain.
Now that is going to be another interesting one to watch, because she's going to make less pit stops than obviously those on the softs. It will be how many less?
Well, you think we've got Klaas on a 4-stopper at the moment. We've got the rest of them on a 3-stopper.
Einarsson on
5-stopper, so she's probably going to be looking at a 2-stopper if she can make it to lap 19 or 18.
Yeah,
probably 19.
What would a 1-stop be?
1-stop would be 28. Because it's half.
Yeah. And I do believe that is Chiara Thunder. It is, yeah.
That pink helmet, you can recognise it anywhere. Maybe I could have worded that differently.
So as we come on board with Alar Kanga then, we've just seen some movement in the... Oh no, maybe not. And I wonder how quickly they're going to catch Einarsson, if at all. And what they can do about it.
Not a lot, really. I think they'll be banking on, because don't forget, everyone in this pack now is doing 2 less stops than Einarsson. So while, yes, it's impressive that he's gotten to where he is, he's still, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. I know what you're getting at.
He's driving an immense race, though, don't get me wrong. To have jumped the whole pack like that, to have fallen back so far and still gotten the pace going to actually make up those places in the first round of soft pit stops is a mighty job.
Yeah, certainly is. As what have we got now? So we've got, after that first round of pit stops, we've got Klaas van Snelheid up front, Chiara Thunder running 2nd on the mediums and yet to pit, Einarsson 3rd on the super softs and with 4 more stops to make. Then behind them we have Ruiz, who is sort of default 2nd at the moment, Kanga third, Giordano fourth, Powers fifth, Hutchinson has slipped back to what is effectively sixth, with Simon behind in seventh, while Timo Kinnaman has fallen behind Will Hoskins.
Indeed, he has. So that would have been obviously in the pit stop phase. Seems to be piling the pressure on in the background, but speaking of piling on the pressure, we've got Nathaniel Powers right on the tail of Giordano there.
Yeah, and all of them now have pretty much caught Aaron Einarsson. So it would be interesting to see how this plays out, whether he's going to hold them up or whether they can make the move. Let's not forget, though, he will be into the pits in 3 laps' time or so.
I think the smart thing to do would just be to sit behind him and wait for the straight, but because obviously I think a lot of these cars have arguably more powerful engines than that Hornquist, as has been stated.
Which has the same Renault engine as the Westwood.
Yeah, but it's been stated previously that they found that the Renault engine was more drivable than outright horsepower. I didn't know how to put that, so I just made up a word.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what to say to that.
I don't think there is any. Should we just move on?
I think we should.
I didn't know how else to put it.
So that train then is going to keep growing, I reckon, behind Aaron Einarsson. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars there at the moment, and I think a few more about to join, and that is going to be the net battle for the second place at the moment.
Are you sure about that? Because that's Kinnaman and Hoskins.
Yeah, as I say, they're going to be joining on.
You said second place.
Yeah, well, once they join onto this train, as Giordano then, sorry, nope, that's not Giordano, it's Ruiz. Ruiz has gone past Aaron Einarsson before the hairpin, and well, that was very easy for the Brazilian.
Yeah, waited for the straight and just.
Oh, Giordano pits.
Ooh. No, that's Einarsson.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
You did your best. Now that is after 8 laps. So, oh no, because he pitted at the end of lap 9. So 9, 18, 27, 36, 45. That might be a 6 stopper.
Oh, that'd be painful. Well, he made his first set of tyres go 10. That's strange.
He didn't. He made them go 9, and he's made them go 9 again because we cut to him when it was already lap 10. If that makes sense. He was in the pit lane when lap 10 had started.
Yep, no,
we
I've
made
got
the same mistake with class. So that's going to be what? Obviously 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54. That's going to be a 6 stopper for him unless he can eke out a couple of stints.
Yeah, that's going to be painful, isn't it?
Poor fella. See, I think we've seen that the super softs just don't work in temperatures over about 15 degrees. Last race was an exception. We had about 14 to 16 degrees, and that was probably their upper limit.
Yeah, very possibly.
But Kanga has obviously now been released to pile the pressure on Ruiz, and he's closing actually on this main straight here. Is he going to dive to the inside? No.
No, he's not, but they are all closing up, and shout out to Arden Hutchinson. He's sticking with these guys.
Absolutely. He's. I've been very impressed with him this race, actually, I won't lie.
Yeah, likewise.
Obviously, the sole remaining first.
Oh, is up onto 2 wheels. Goes Timo Kinnaman as Finn Schneider is closing onto the back of Adrian Simon. He's broken away from this little battle.
Yeah. He's trying to pile on the pressure at the back of the pack there, but he seems to be sort of lulling, but not quite quick enough to catch the pack, and just about quick enough to, what's it called? Break away from that battle for 10th.
Yeah, that one.
You just do words while I don't.
As Aaron Einarsson rejoined in, I think, 16th, but I think he's just moved past Nowasinki into 15th then. So it's still going to be something to keep an eye on the Super Softs, but it's looking like that's going to be the wrong strategy. As into the pits comes one of the Meteors. Now that's interesting. That's Johan Halverson. What tyres was he running on? He was on the softs, wasn't he? Oh,
yeah,
it's a
but
long
he looks
stop.
like he's
I wonder
taking damage.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he might have lost the front wing there.
Saying as though he didn't have one, I think your detective skills are impeccable, Bradley.
Well, they don't call me D.I. Downton for nothing.
Oh, there's Kiara Thunder. I didn't realise how quickly they closed up. I wasn't paying attention.
No, as Ruiz dives to the inside to defend from Kanga then. And I wouldn't have said Kanga was close enough that was necessary, but Ruiz obviously decided it was. As let's not forget, we are on to lap 21 now, so Kiara Thunder has made those tyres last 20 laps. She's getting closer.
Yeah, only we're sure not going to have to make it much longer at all, to be honest, as we've got... It's looking like quite a mixed up top 10, and it's quite an entertaining watch, to be honest.
Yeah, here we go then, on board with Halverson, and he's gone round the outside of one of the Ingrams and just clattered into him.
He did his best, unfortunately. Where is the Ingram he went into? That would have probably been Nikolai Milkovic, seeing as though Matson is further behind.
But then Halverson's ahead of both of them. And Milkovic hasn't pitted. I think it was Matson, and Matson's pitted for damage.
It could have been Harrison, though.
No, it was...
Harrison has the red
actually,
one,
yeah,
the
you're
red
right.
helmet.
That was Harrison's helmet.
I'm a genius. Riding on board now with Powers then. Still following Puccio Giordano. He's going to be... Is it Puccio or Puccio? I feel like Puccio reminds me of like Scooby-Doo or something like that.
Puccio.
Puccio Giordano, okay.
We could go with Puccio.
I don't think he'd like that.
No. I don't know, Puccio.
Whatever
Whatever
the case, he's defending heavily from the Downton.
He is, as Ruiz has
Nathaniel
passed
Powers.
Kiara Thunder.
Yeah. Oh, it's all crack-a-lacking.
As I thought Giordano was going to dive to the inside of Kanga then, but he thought better of it. Ruiz, though, up into second place. Kiara Thunder continues on. In fact, she looks as though she might challenge Ruiz back again here.
That would be certainly...
well, she's
an
certainly
tale.
close enough.
And if they made contact, oh boy.
Yeah, we're used to seeing Holmquists collide with
go on,
front runners.
Nathaniel, around the outside of Puccio Giordano.
Powers the outside of Giordano around turn 1. Surely that'll give him the inside lines to 2 and 3, but no!
Didn't quite have the
first
grip
time
there.
then that we haven't seen that work. I think Giordano cut him off slightly, but well within his rights to close the door.
Absolutely. Good spatial awareness to actually say, right, no. But yeah, some great racing. And it was a good try from Nathaniel Powers. He's trying to rattle the Italian, but so far, Puccio seems to be withstanding attack as, Kanga has that door slammed in his face by Kiara Thunder there.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be too much longer before the Estonian finds a way past, though. He looks a lot racier, and obviously he's on soft tyres, fresher soft tyres than the worn mediums that Thunder is on.
So, here we go. We're going to see, I think, a flurry of moves again on this straight.
Yeah, I get the feeling. As Kiara Thunder then defends on the inside, but you can see on board with Kanga how much pace he has in a straight line. He's not going to get the move done there. Is he going to get her on the exit? He's not. No, he doesn't have the traction out of the final corner. Out of the hairpin. So, he's going to dive to the inside of the final corner.
He looks like he's gone run wide there, and that's going to really hurt his run down the main straight. And here comes Powers and Puccio Giordano.
Yeah, it's
Giordano all over the place there. Kanga, good defense there.
Yeah, slammed the door in Giordano's face as Hutchinson is going to try and move around the outside of Nathaniel Powers. Powers tried this on the last lap against Giordano and it didn't work. Can he copy Giordano's defending tactics? He can, and he cuts himself across in front of Hutchinson, and that gives Adrian Simon a run, but he can't do anything with it as we go on board with Finn Schneider, who is now right on the back of the world champion.
Yeah, seems to be a very opportunistic drive from the flying Finn at the moment, while the other flying Finn is caught behind Will Hoskins. Yeah,
both of whom are closing up themselves as James Harding is on the back of Felix Bayer behind them.
Well, it's not bad. Do you know what? I talk a lot of rubbish about... I don't like James Harding's driving, but he's driven quite a cracker actually today.
He has so far. Yeah, I'd agree with that. As Kanga then still stuck behind Kiara Thunder, you can see up front Ruiz has just absolutely vanished. This is really harming their race now. They need to get
Kanga
past
tucks back
Kiara.
in. Here comes Puccio. He wants to make a
Yeah,
move.
Giordano's done Kanga and he's
them.
done Thunder as well.
Oh,
2
David
in
Franklin's
1.
going to be... Oh, here comes Kanga now down the inside of Thunder. Yeah, Thunder's got nothing to defend with now.
No, I wonder if she's just trying to eke it out to... nope, into the pits. So end of lap 23 then for Kiara Thunder. So that is just going to be a 2-stop.
Easily going to be a 2-stop.
But then...
Here comes Powers now. No, that's not Powers at all. That's Simon on Hutchinson. He's got the grip on the outside. Has he got the balls? He bloody well has, and he makes the move. He's now done the inside for turn 2.
And he's far enough alongside. I think he's going to get that done as they exit turn 2 and 3. And he has. And Adrian Simon then goes up into what I believe is 6th place.
Wow. Fair play. Good move. Now Hutchinson's got a couple of Westwoods and an AMR to deal with.
Yeah, so, you know, he's sticking with them, isn't he? But he is just starting to just slip back behind the what we'd class as the front runners so far this season.
Yes. You are correct. So apparently Klaus van Snelheid has got a minute's lead on everyone.
Yeah, although obviously we know the timing screens are slightly incorrect. Into the pits comes Joachim van Snelheid then. So that once again was at the end of lap 23, and he was on the mediums as well.
Yellow flags going on in sector 1. What's happening there?
No. Well, class has just started. Lap 25 then, as the others. The second place Ruiz is halfway down the main straight, the back straight even. That's quite a lead he's got.
That is an insane lead.
Oh,
yeah, yellow flags again. That's a poor exit from
Kanga wide out of the final corner then, all over the curb. But surely that's going to give Powers a run around the outside of turn 1. Can he make this stick where he couldn't on Puccio Giordano? He's already swept past before turn 1.
That was brilliant opportunism. He saw the mistake from Kanga. Obviously, the lack of experience being outweighed there by the tremendous experience that Powers has. And yeah, did well to take the place off of him. Yeah,
as Elroy Wagner there battling with Johan Halverson. In fact, I think that's Halverson making the move.
Oh dear. Wagner's had a bit of a dodgy weekend. Well, not dodgy weekend, just a dodgy day really. He was fine in practice. He was great in qualifying as per usual.
Dodgy day.
Dodgy day. Dodgy Dave. Did that? Well, don't know. I don't know.
No, I have no idea.
Nobody does. It's fine.
So, what have we got now then? We've got Klaus van Snelheid leading, with Ruiz in second, a small gap between him back to Giordano in third. Powers is up to fourth now with the 2 DS Matishaws of Kanga and Simon in 5th and 6th. Hutchinson holding on to 7th, but he has Finn Schneider, Will Hoskins and Timo Kinnaman breathing down his neck to round out the top 10.
Indeed. So it's except for first place, it's quite a close top 10.
It is indeed, yeah.
Things just seem to be stagnating for a little while.
Oh, as Powers up onto 2 wheels around the final corner, but holds onto it, and Kanga not close enough to gain any kind of advantage on that.
No, as we've got Hoskins under attack, I think, from Timo Kinnaman.
Yeah, he certainly
is.
Is
he attacking Schneider? Oh, that was close. And now Kinnaman wants to have a go.
And surely he's going to go around the outside here then. The 2 former teammates, one of them still at Westwood, one of them who has moved on. Kinnaman has gone through past Will Hoskins then and up into 9th place. And once again, the Westwoods are running in consecutive positions.
Don't get me wrong, I'm fine with them doing that because, you know, they tend to stay out of each other's noses, but...
Stay out of each other's noses?
I don't know why my brain
decided... That's just weird.
Good. You're weird.
Why are you drivers up one another's noses?
You can pick your friends, you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose. So there.
Well,
Ancient
I mean,
wisdom.
You probably could.
No.
But they might hit you.
Stay away. Stay on your side of the commentary box. I'm going to build a wall. Bringing politics into racing.
Yeah, let's swiftly ignore that one.
Indeed. So, I don't know. Say words. Oh, yellow flag in sector 1. Now we should be expecting class in this lap.
Nope, because he's crossed the line to start lap 27.
Okay, that's interesting.
So
Don't forget though.
He's gonna go a lap longer. Yeah.
Don't forget, going to the pit lane does count as crossing the line.
Yeah, that's true.
And
but,
he would be there.
I'd have expected a second pit stop to have flashed up now, but it hasn't.
Yeah. So he's made these tyres go a lap longer. So he might be able to eke out back to a 3-stop.
It's possible.
He tries.
Well, is that Arden Hutchinson coming back at Adrian Simon? He's trying, isn't he?
You would be correct in that, yes. Simon looks to be struggling a bit for pace.
That's surprising me. Simon has been incredible in the first 3 races so far, finishing in the top 2. He's been that driver that just sits there and just picks up the positions. But in the last 2 races now, I think we'd say he has been outperformed by Al Kanga.
Yeah, I mean, he really has.
Possibly 3. I believe Kanga was quicker in Malaysia as well.
Don't forget though, he is the man leading the championship. He might just be going for a more conservative method of driving, as we see Powers trying to intimidate Puccio.
Jesus, that looked horrible from on board with Powers. I could just see him clattering straight into the side of Giordano there.
Well, that was one brake failure away from a T-bone. Like, ooh, that was a bit of a close one, but both drivers escaped unscathed.
Yes,
now he's right on the back of Puccio now, though. But he says, nah.
Yeah, the 3 of them running absolutely nose to tail, as Einarsson not making the progress. As there we go, class into the pits then. At the end of lap 27, that was. And where is he going to rejoin? Because he's still in the lead at the moment. Ruiz goes through now then, so class is going to be out in 2nd, 3rd. Oh, he's just going to feed out in or behind that train, and it's just behind Adrian Simon.
That's not really where he wanted to feed out, but when you consider that most of the guys in front of him are going to pit this lap, I don't think he's going to lose a lot of time.
No, absolutely not. And he is now on fresh soft tyres, so it's possible that he could just
scythe his way through.
Absolutely. But we should wait and see. He'd probably be better served to just wait it out, to be honest, as into the pits for his 3rd stop now comes Aaron Einarsson. So that really has backfired, hasn't it?
Making his 3rd stop before the halfway point in the race is just... wow. Is all I can say.
It was good early on while he was running 3rd. But, yep, oh well.
Yeah, you know, it happens. It was a risk, with the low temperatures relatively to the 1st and 2nd races. It wasn't a bad shout, but looks like don't forget, we're still learning more and more about
that is Klaas van Snelheid on the back of Adrian Simon, and on his fresh tyres he's got a much better exit out of the long left-hander, and he's already, well, they're alongside, sort of, there's a massive gap between them, but already Klaas is through into 5th place then past the world champion.
Yeah, good move.
As
obviously.
into pits comes Giordano and Ruiz, and Powers has gone for another lap, as has Al Kanga.
Alright, so they'll be going for the overcut there then. Be interesting to see if that works, because we haven't seen it work yet.
Wow, Simon is in as well. They have, let's not forget though, Powers up front has fresh air. Ruiz, Giordano has a slightly lengthy pit stop. Ruiz and Giordano, you imagine, are going to come out with some sort of traffic.
Definitely, it's not going to be pretty good.
Well, Harding's gone through. Actually, no, Ruiz does have clear air in front of him.
Well, that's good then. He's going to be able to drop the hammer, really.
As Kiara Thunder back up to 8th then. So Thunder between the 2 Franklins once again. Let's not forget, they now have the same amount of pit stops to make. And she's currently running in a net 3rd.
I wouldn't expect that to last.
No, I don't think she'll hold on. And I think a lot of these guys will go past. But that could be another potential points finish for Hongfest.
Yeah, which obviously I think they would have been hoping for. Let's face it, last season they kind of just took the same chassis for the whole season. Did they actually do any development?
I don't know.
Fair enough.
To be honest.
To give you an honest answer, he says.
As we see there, Nathaniel Powers, they're holding up Class, I get the feeling now. Is he going to dive in? He is. Powers pits. Kanga continues once again.
Might be trying to hold up Class as much as he can.
Although Class has got a brilliant run down start finish straight then. Where's Powers going to feed back out? Is it something we've got? Oh, Class spins! Class bench now overspun from second place then. He's going to recover. I don't think there was any damage picked up there.
No, the important part now is will he have enough in the car really to keep his
Hutchinson is
strategy
pitted
alive.
as well. Where's Powers going to? I think Powers is going to feed back out ahead of Giordano. He is. Powers is out in net third place.
Hey, that's pretty good.
As Hutchinson pits as well now. He had slipped behind Finn Schneider.
That might have just been in the pit lane though.
Well, no, that was before the pits. Here we go then, on board with Class. And no, he didn't make contact with the back of Kanga. He rode the curb, and that's the first mistake then that we've seen all day from Claas van Snelheid.
I think he was just a bit eager to get into that clear air and start pumping in those lap times, and it's cost him quite a few seconds. But I still can't imagine him being rivaled.
Well, as long as he can eke these tyres out and make the 3-stop work, then no. But if he does have to make an extra stop, he's going to be in trouble now.
Not necessarily. He's got, he had already built up. That's
Kiara Thunder then backing these guys up, and you can see that's quite a train behind her now. So the drivers that have got away from that, so Ruiz and Powers as Kanga pits now then at the end of lap 30. His Class up onto two wheels. He's looking ragged at the moment. Needs to get that back under control.
Yeah, he seems to be a bit unsettled actually in that car since that spin. He just needs to calm down. Maybe turn down the dial a little bit for a couple of laps just to because you got to find your pace again, and that's.
There's cars up on the in the background. Where's Kanga going to feed back out then? I get the feeling it will be in fourth ahead of Giordano. And it has indeed. The time that Giordano was lost behind Kiara Thunder has really cost him here then, as Adrian Simon is going to go to the outside of the Holmfest at turn 1, and surely he's going to get this move done. He is, and he's through even before they get to the left-hander of 2 and 3.
Lovely jobs there from Adrian Simon. As we see some movement down further towards the midfield. Didn't quite catch who it was, as we've got Wagner in the pits now.
Yeah, let's not forget he is out of sequence.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Because of that early collision. Although not hugely out of sequence, is he?
He's effectively a pit stop behind what he should be.
Yeah, of course he is. And only a lap or 2 out.
Yeah, and that as well. But, you get what you deserve when you drive like an idiot, so... I mean, it's rare we see mistakes from Wagner, and I hold him in very high regard, but... an incident like that, you just ask him for trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. So then, we have... we've got Ocelot and a Meteor side by side, and the Meteor of Stuart Harrison goes through into 20th place past Jochen van Snelheid.
Certainly a meaty battle going on. And, wait for it, here comes another pun.
As Nathaniel Powers now then sets the fastest lap as he continues on his pursuit of Enrique Ruiz.
That's interesting then, because obviously Claas looked like he was the one who had a lot of pace in the car, so...
Well, do you know, I was going to mention this earlier actually, but I think now is probably the best time. I'm wondering if we're starting to see something with the Downton cars akin to what they've seen in Formula 1 with the Mercedes in the last few years. And that in clear air, they can run very quickly. But you get them stuck in traffic, and they almost struggle.
We did see that with the Franklin back in 2015, actually.
Exactly, so it wouldn't be uncommon.
Definitely not, as, ooh, Finn Schneider almost loses a nose there. Has his the door slammed in his face.
Yeah, bearing in mind that's Kiara Thunder running 7th, and she has 3 cars behind her, I think holding on to a point is going to be actually pretty tricky.
Yeah, because obviously
on those
that
medium
train
tyres.
goes back to outside the points.
Not quite, it doesn't. That's Hoskins at the back of it, who is 10th.
Of course, yeah. Kinham has lost a lot of time somewhere.
That's a very good point. As Schneider then is slipstreaming Kiara Thunder coming down the back straight, and I think he's surely going to make a move. There's Kinnaman in the background. No, he's not going to do it there.
Same engines as well, so the benefit of the slipstream should be allowing him to...
Yeah, as Alar
pass.
Kanga sets the fastest lap in 4th place.
Oh boy, that's a good lap.
That was half a second quicker than Powers.
But he's not even in clear air. Well, whatever it's happened, he's closed right up to the back of Daniel now. Oh, Finn Schneider is making moves on Thunder.
Yeah, Schneider then through into 7th place off camera. We haven't seen that one, but he is indeed up to 7th. As Adrian Simon now closing in on the back of Fuccio Giordano.
Yeah. I think we're reaching that point in the race where things are going to stagnate briefly.
Yes, I think you're quite right. When is the next round of pit stops?
Well, we'll have Aaron Anderson in another 3 laps.
Yeah, I
And
don't
we're
think
looking
that's... Oh, Simon is past Giordano somewhere.
Oh, we missed that one.
Well, yeah, that's because we're watching Hutchinson.
He's struggling to stay with it now, I think. I think he's
yeah, he's
given
slipped
his all.
behind Schneider now, and he's coming under pressure from Will Hoskins. As Olin Inman finally makes his first stop then on the hard tyres.
Not doing too bad considering he's on the hards. And
Yeah,
he started
and that
last.
he started last.
Mind you, actually, we've had 2 retirements and a couple of incidents, so really he's only gained like a place or 2.
2 retirements. Who was the second one?
Oh, my bad. I got it wrong. Yeah. So, moving on. Oh, no way, we covered that bit.
Oh, Hutchinson's gone through past Thunder as well.
No, we did that bit,
Did we?
I believe.
We covered Schneider going past.
Covered Hutchinson, mate. No, we didn't.
And that then on screen is as we mentioned earlier, Giordano now behind Adrian Simon. So I think the Italian, let's not forget, it's his first race with Franklin, but he is, he does look like he's been struggling recently, and he's now slipped to the back of that, the 6 cars of the 3 teams that we'd class as probably the quickest. It'd be interesting to see if Schneider can put him under any pressure.
Yeah, that would be a good test of, well, both drivers, I'd say.
Well, I don't want to be unfair to Schneider or the Westwood, but
We're not on a Franklin level.
No, if he can get close to Giordano, I don't think that's a good thing for Giordano.
No, definitely not. But yeah, top 6 seems to be quite settled now, for the moment. So obviously you've got
You
the
say
2
that.
Downtons, the 2 Franklins, the 2 DSs.
Oh, as we've got a bit of a battle there between Matson, Beckenbauer, and Davenport as they fight over 22nd place.
I'm really glad that Ingram doesn't get a lot of camera time.
Not a fan?
Not really. I mean, I've liked their whole green and orange, white and black kind of liveries, but the black kind of seems to clash with the bright colours for me. Doesn't seem to be working. I'm not honestly a huge fan of it.
Fair enough. As on board with Nathaniel Powers there, as he's just about to lap one of the back markers. Yeah, there's a couple of seconds or so between him and Ruiz now. I think Ruiz has that covered, to be honest.
Yeah, it looks that way, but then obviously We've still got a solid 22 laps to go.
Yeah, as Kiara Thunder now has slipped behind Will Hoskins as well and is coming under pressure from Timo Kinnaman. I think she's about to fall out of the points. That, actually, I said he's got a couple of seconds. He hasn't, because he's just been held up by one of the back markers, and that was a Meteor who jumps over the curbs. And Powers is, what is he doing? Why hasn't he gone past?
I don't think, in all fairness, I don't believe Halverson actually left the space there. And he's still bulking, Powers. Still bulking, get out the way.
No, I don't know. I'd say at least down that straight, Halverson was so far over to the right-hand side, his wheels were on the grass. I'd say he was as... we've got a three side-by-side up front, and there's the Ocelot of Beckenbauer, I think that is, dives to the inside of Matson. Inman trying to get involved.
Powers close there, has the door slammed in his face. Sorry to cut across you.
Yeah,
but
no.
Yeah, Ruiz definitely wasn't going to let him pass there.
No, certainly wasn't, but Ruiz has lost quite a bit of his advantage there.
Yeah, so now it's game on for second place. Let's just pretend this is for the win, and then it'll be more exciting.
Well, if Klaas van Snelheid has to make an additional pit stop, it could be.
True.
As Kanga is closing in on this pair as well, behind them.
That's impressive. That's all I have to say on the matter.
As we've only got 20 laps left to run in this V-Prix, and once again, like it's been already so far this season, I've no idea who's going to win this.
No, and
that is absolutely brilliant.
This season seems to be throwing up some brilliant racing.
Oh, as Powers looks to the inside of Ruiz, but just has the door. I mean, he wasn't really up the inside, but just has the door shut in his face, and he's looking the quicker of the two at the moment. As they're coming up to 3 back markers, they could really play havoc.
Hopefully they'll all do the sensible thing and move out of the way on this next straight. But we all know that back markers are, if anything, not sensible. We've seen it countless times in this series, and anyone who's a back marker can roast me for saying it, but they don't get their drivers out the way properly.
Having said that, the fun moved out the way as Powers down the inside of Ruiz. I think there was contact there, to be honest.
Yeah, it looked a bit of a rough ride there, going down into the hairpin. So hopefully we can get a replay with an onboard shot on. And he's
lost a bit of ground now as we have a yellow flag in sector 1.
Oh boy, it's a long one.
Oh, as Giordano has got a run on Adrian Simon and he's passed before 4-2-1, but he's
he's going to spin.
Giordano's up in the air.
That was a big crash.
Oh, and Schneider no spins.
That was really unsafe there from Puccio. Christ almighty.
That was well saved though from Finn Schneider. Quite how we avoided him there, I've no idea. Here we go then, on board Giordano, across the grass, up onto 2 wheels.
Very lucky boy not to roll there, and then just decides to put it straight back on the racing line. Had there been contact, I would have been knocking up Franklin's motorhome later.
Yeah, but as it is, Schneider's moved into 6th place.
Now this is really going to test Puccio's mettle.
It will. Can he get that place back?
Not going to lie, I have every, Finn Schneider's a great driver, but I believe that Puccio should be able to claim that place
as
back.
Powers then, who was looking earlier, potentially attacking Ruiz, looks as though he's lost time in traffic, and Alar Kanga now is right back with the Brit.
Yeah, obviously this is fighting for, like you said, possibly the race win. Net.
Oh, is that Lopez up on 2?
So Harding.
How many laps have they been going? 13, 14 laps. So if Klaas can make it to the end of lap 42, we'll say 43 to be on the safe side, he should be okay.
It's true.
So because his first stint was 13, his second stint was 14. Yeah, so we'll say 43.
Which would be quite a long way to go. Because don't forget, we haven't seen a single driver go 16 laps on these tyres yet.
Well, when did you last pit then? Was it 27?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 13 and 14. Ooh, crikey.
So he could be about to struggle as we see Wagner about to make moves on the North Star of Alexei Nowosinski.
Oh, I thought he was going to run into him there, to be honest.
Likewise.
But no, he's gone just around the outside. Solid move there from Elroy Wagner. As in fact, there is our race leader. But that's Ruiz not very far behind him. So what has happened there then? And obviously he had that gap has dramatically come down. Obviously he had that spin earlier on, but I'm sure that didn't cost him all of that time.
No, it can't have done. Unless
here we go. Sure, is this an incident then? Wow.
Oh, Klaas spun it again.
Well, there was contact there.
No.
There was.
He was already riding up on the curb, Bradley.
But, well, yes, he was on the curb, but there was contact. And the two things combined probably unsettled the car. But Nathaniel Powers, though, right with Enrique Ruiz, so Klaas absolutely has to make this in 3 stops now, or he has thrown away that victory. And this is potentially the battle for the lead.
Yeah, so that would make it very interesting, obviously. If Klaas does have to make that extra stop, then, well, it's going to be tight, I think. If he can make these tyres go 15, the next ones go 15, then he'll be fine. He's just got to stretch out one of the stints to 15 laps.
Yeah, and that's not something he's managed so far.
No. And with all these spins, you wouldn't think it's going to be this stint, that's for sure.
No, those tyres must be looking worse for wear, as he can't actually lap now. I believe that's Ola Inman, and Ruiz, Powers and Kanga are closing in on the Dutchman, whose race looks to be unravelling.
Yeah, it's all fallen apart for the young Klaas.
Dutchman.
I was going to say Dutchman, but you just said Dutchman, so I had to think of a different way to describe him.
He's through now, though, but he has lost so much time. As Aaron Einerson into the back of one of the Meteors, and that was silly.
If they won't move, move them. That was definitely not the right way to pass. I think Einerson's frustration's bubbling over a bit there. We have another yellow flag in Sector 1.
That's right, it's not Klaas.
Yeah, but it could be something he's about to go headlong into.
Yeah, as that's Kiara Thunder then. Still hanging on to that 10th place at the moment from Timo Kinnaman.
Yeah, I'm surprised actually that Kinnaman has not managed to make the move. But speaking of making moves, Puccio Giordano has managed to gain the place back from Finn Schneider. So
he has.
He was able to recompose himself and rather quickly dispatch the young Swiss. As we watch then the battle for basically the lead, I believe.
Yeah, could be! Powers is sideways!
Powers.
But
Very lucky that Kanga wasn't close enough there.
No, he held on to that. In fact, didn't even really lose an awful lot of time, did he?
Not particularly. Obviously we've seen that time and again because obviously we have quite high raised curbs here this weekend. And a lot of the drivers are being quite caught out.
Yeah, certainly are. I think we've seen that quite a lot this race. We've seen quite a few cars up into 2 wheels as Powers sweeps around the outside of Inman, and that's going to hold Kanga up slightly. Not really.
He tried. Now Kanga is quite far back. He's just hanging on to this fight, obviously.
Yeah, well, as I say, he was just held up there ever so slightly by Inman. I think, as this is Klaas, is he going to pit this lap then? No, so he's continuing on. So he's going to go until at least the end of lap 41. He might be able to eke this out, you know?
Well, I think
I'm
it's going to be
keep your fingers crossed.
tight. If so, we're going to have a 4-way battle for the lead, which I think is going to be amazing. Yellow flags again.
It's going to be whichever one of these guys pits first. Because they'll be in clean air, well, if they can get into clean air, on fresh tyres.
Yeah, very much is going to depend on what happens when they emerge from the pits. As we've got that battle for the last points paying place. Still no one giving an inch, and James Harding is almost
No,
right
but I
there.
think Kinnaman is going to get. No, he can't quite pull alongside the Hornquist.
No, it's going to be interesting to see that fight. That fight's going to be pretty entertaining, I reckon.
Yeah, and I wonder how that's going to work its way out in the pit stop phase as well.
Oh yeah, true. So obviously, all of the drivers now, we think, probably only have one stop to make.
And in fact, Chiara could have a say here in who wins this race, because she's going to pit later than the soft-tired runners, isn't she?
Oh yeah, she is. Which might hurt her in the long run, but...
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine it'll cost them points. But, as I say, she could very much have a say in who wins this race, as Klaas is not lapping the back marker of the Ocelot of whoever it is, and that has allowed Ruiz to close right back up. But Ruiz is sideways out of the hairpin, and Powers has got the run, and into second place goes Powers. Klaas Van Snelheid dives into the pits, and Powers will take the lead. Van Snelheid will have to make these last set of tyres. Last 15 laps as we have
this is close.
3 side by side for the lead of the Chinese V-Prix. It's Ruiz who heads it. As they come back through turn 1, Powers slips back to second, and that was all caused by the back marker there, and that is Jochen Van Snelheid, would you believe it?
Oh. Jochen has definitely got to work on getting out of the way there, because he's still... Kanga's going to be getting frustrated, but he's got to just keep it cool and collected.
Powers dives to the inside of Ruiz at turn 4, I think that is, and he's got it done! Powers is through, back into the lead!
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid move, actually, up the inside. I mean...
Oh, Klaas Van Snelheid has rejoined in 12th, right behind James Harding and 2 other cars. That is absolutely not what he wanted, but he's already up the inside of Harding. That's 1 car disposed of.
Now let's see what he can do about the Westwood of Kinnaman and the Hornquist of Chiara Thunder. He's going to be looking to make as much ground up as possible.
Yeah, absolutely, but let's not forget he has to make these tyres last 15 laps now. We've got contact, and that's an in-run. That's an in-run out. That's a fun out. In fact, that's and that's very similar to what we saw in Japan. And that's Davenport again.
Poor Davenport.
Because it was Davenport and Einarsson, wasn't it, last time out in Japan that happened to.
Yes,
and that then a very, very similar incident. There's Ruiz pits then, so he's going to have to make his last set of tyres last 14 laps as well. Obviously, well, I know Klaas is going to have to do 15, but
14 isn't such a big deal for Ruiz. I think 14 is the average, I think you could say.
Yeah, I'd say so. And what's going to be interesting to see where he feeds back out in terms of Klaas Van Snelheid. Van Snelheid has had to pass 3 cars on this lap, and but I think he's going to be ahead, isn't he, Klaas?
Yeah, easily. Now it's just going to be about getting those tyres to the end. That's going to be the tricky part.
Giordano has also closed on Kanga, and there you see it.
Oh boy.
No, sorry, that's Simon. That's Simon past Giordano. No, he was already, wasn't he? Because yeah, never mind.
Yes, it is, and yes, he was. But that's okay. You're excited, and that's what counts.
Can you blame me?
Not really.
This is absolutely thrilling.
It is, yeah, actually. I mean, we've seen it time and again this season.
Oh, that's Judson Sykes without a front wing.
Oh, how did he manage that?
I'm sure we shall get a replay.
I hope so.
So where's Ruiz? Ruiz has come back out then behind James Harding. Here we go then, on board with Sykes. And is that Wagner again?
Yeah. Wagner's got to sort it out.
I mean, that was a silly bit of driving, but well, you can't really. There was nothing Sykes. He couldn't avoid that, could he?
Not really. You don't anticipate that kind of ridiculous behaviour, but.
As Powers dives into the pits now then at the end of lap 43. Kanga is going to continue on. Kanga will have then the freshest tyres, but where is Powers going to come out in relation to Klaas Van Snelheid and Enrique Ruiz? That's what we're waiting to see now. He had got ahead of Ruiz before the pit stop, and Ruiz has been stuck behind James Harding.
This could be quite clever from anyone who's staying out, because obviously we've seen them emerging behind Chiara Thunder, who's been arguably costing them a lot of time.
Yeah, so Klaas goes through then.
Spent behind her.
Cars has gone through into second. Powers is going to come back out. He's behind Thunder, but he's ahead of Ruiz.
That's the important part. So now we get to see, well, I would say a pretty straight fight for the win.
There's
but
sideways there nearly from Adrian Simon around turn 1. And Kiara Thunder back up to third. If only she was able to eke those mediums out, that would be a brilliant result.
That would be fantastic, and she's probably going to be ruining not being able to make a one-stop work. I mean,
yeah, she was only a few laps off. And as I say, you know, depending on how long she holds up Powers and Ruiz for, this could let Class get away. He's not that far ahead, is he? Actually,
not really.
Just seen him flash
And
through
here
the bottom of the
comes
screen.
Powers is going to be looking at making that move any moment now.
But he's going to have to get on with it because Ruiz is now right back with the Brit. Well, he's got a much better exit there, hasn't he? On the fresh soft tyres, Kiara's used mediums can't cope. And Powers down the inside. And surely he's going to get that done into the... there we go, Kanga pits then at the end of lap 44 from the lead. Where will he feed back out, the Estonian?
I'm going to guess third.
As Class rounds the final corner then, Class Van Schnellheid will take back the lead of the Chinese V-Prix, but there's a question mark over whether he can make it to the end of this race. Powers is going to go through into second. Can we just end it now? And Ruiz is indeed going to go back through into a net third. Kanga slots out in fourth place then.
Yeah, no fifth.
Yeah, but Kiara Thunder's yet to pit.
Oh, of course. Then say net. Say net.
I did.
Oh, you
into
didn't.
a net fifth. Fourth. Now look, you've confused me.
Ha! So we ride on board now with Enrique Ruiz still stuck behind Kiara Thunder, and this is only going to be helping Downton.
Yeah, and look how Powers has escaped up front.
Absolutely. Right.
So where have we got the back? What's going on towards the bottom end? Ruiz is through now, then past Kiara.
Ah.
What's going on?
Don't think anyone can say they're surprised.
Bottom end of the points. Why is Timo Kinnaman 14?
He did struggle last stint. He spent most of it stuck behind Kiara Thunder. He couldn't make the move stick, so I think he lost most of his time there. And Finn was held up by a lot of people in the fast lane in the pits, which is why he's lost ground to Giordano and Hutchinson.
Yeah, as Thunder defends the inside line then against Alar Kanga. But I'd imagine the Estonians probably... And look at Adrian Simon and Giordano and how much they've closed back up. Is Kanga going to go around the outside of the hairpin? He's still wheel to wheel, and I think he's going to do it. He's going to have the inside for the next left-hander. What a beautiful move from Alar Kanga.
That was a fantastic move there. Well played.
And that is absolutely spot on then from the Estonian. A cracking piece of driving.
Yeah, he saw the opportunity. We haven't seen that move really come off for anyone in this race, so very impressive for him to actually find the grip and make the move. Yeah,
very much so. As just a note, Heinsohn is still only on 4 stops, so I'm wondering if he can maybe eke this out as a 5-stopper.
The line yet, I don't think.
No, but then if he does, he's only got 10 laps to go, so surely he can manage that on 5 stops. Maybe not. As Adrian Simon now battling. Oh, what's this? This is contact between Beckenbauer and one of the Westwoods, and between Beckenbauer and one of the Lopez's. And well, that's very similar to, as that's going to put Harding in the wall. Oh, not quite.
Harding.
Oh, and in fact, they're still stuck together on the... Oh, and that's a big accident there. And that is a Lopez out and a North Star. Oh, and what is that Ocelot doing? Oh, that's a mess. That's just a mess.
To be fair, Sykes could have easily avoided that.
No,
but they shouldn't be like that together. Oh, well, either way.
Yeah, no, I agree. Absolutely. As that is Alar Kanga right onto the back of Enrique Ruiz. There's a lot of drama behind, but there's drama up at the front, and that's what we're going to keep our eyes on, as we've got cars falling by the wayside behind them. But Top
What
6.
was it I was saying about back markers earlier?
Yeah, as there's a wheel. Just
there, just chilling, I guess.
Well, at least it's laying down. As no, hang on, sorry, that's Giordano and Simon, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You're right. You are most correct.
Ah, there we go. Then that's Kiara Thunder exiting the pit lane. Is she going to get out ahead of Felix Bear in 10th? Oh, there's the train.
Yeah, all Felix has got
she's just done it, but Bear's going to sweep around the outside, surely. Well, he's there. He's still there. And yeah, that's going to be the move done.
Yeah, easy.
Oh, or is Kiara going to cut him off? I think she is. Oh, what a beautiful defensive driving.
It's fantastic there, actually. Fair play. She's hung on to that last point scoring position. Now we go back on with that's
Ruiz and Kanga. There's contact there between Kanga and the back marker fun of Olin Inman. Inman maybe just giving a little love tap to the car that he probably believes he should have been in this year.
Well, yeah, I mean, you'd think he would have done enough by fighting for the title last year to earn a drive, but apparently not. But to be fair, Kanga seems to be taking the fight to Simon just as well. So
I was going to say, absolutely, Kanga is having a mega season so far against the reigning champion. Obviously, Simon has picked up all the results thus far.
Yeah.
But I'd arguably say Kanga's been the quicker driver.
Yeah, depends on how you look at it as to whether that speaks volumes about Kanga, Simon, or Inman.
Absolutely, as Simon puts a lap on his former teammate, Giordano now about to do the same. And that's good driving from him, and he got well out of the way there. We don't often see that.
Eventually.
Well, at least he did get out of the way.
True.
So we've got a yellow flag appearing every now and then in Sector 1. I think that's just the marshals having a bit of fun, to be honest.
Having a bit of a giggle.
Either that, or we have seen quite a few incidents, so it's entirely possible that it could just be for various incidents.
Yeah, I mean, obviously what we've got...
that's Powers ahead of Klaas van Snelheid.
Klaas has lost a lot of time somewhere then.
Yeah, Klaas, who was eking that lead out again, is surely that's not another error.
Well, what else is it going to be, really?
Yeah, whatever it is, it's has Klaas van Snelheid just thrown away the victory here?
Looks like, well...
And here we go, on board then. It's that same curb that's caught them all out, but he couldn't save it. And Klaas van Snelheid then recovers, and where's Powers going to come past? He's, Powers hit the wheel.
Straight over.
Where did that wheel come from?
I don't know, but it didn't go anywhere when he hit it. That's bizarre. Okay.
So Nathaniel Powers then, with, hang on, I've got a calculator. With 8 laps left in this V-Prix, Nathaniel Powers is into the lead. Klaas van Snelheid forced to second as Giordano challenges Adrian Simon. Simon sweeps around the outside, Giordano's out!
There goes both
out.
of them.
The championship leader is out of this race after contact with Puccio Giordano.
Oh, that is gutting. That is honestly gutting for them. I think that's, like, I'm going to put my balls on the line and say that was a racing incident purely because both of them looked like they were just on the edge.
And what drama! Here then in China, on board then, here with Puccio Giordano. He was on the curb.
Gutting.
That is heartbreaking for the pair of them.
It is, yeah. Unfortunately, these things happen in motor racing. What a shame.
I think I'd be tempted to agree there in that was a racing incident. I mean, Giordano was all over the curb on the inside. And Simon gave him room, but I think the curb just kind of flung Giordano out of the corner slightly, which just put him into Simon, and the two just connected.
All I'll say is any investigation is going to be very interesting.
Yes, let's not forget, that will be between Franklin and DS Matthershaw. And those two, well, they have history, as their remaining cars now in the race are battling over third position, Ruiz and Kanga. And Arden Hutchinson, that's put Hutchinson up to 5th.
Nice. So that'll be... Oh, no, wait, because they got 4th
No, they didn't. First best result has been a 7th place.
Oh, so this would be their first top 5 finish.
Yeah, it certainly would.
Unless Schneider's got anything to do about it.
And we've still got a battle on for the win here between the two Downtons at the moment, providing Klaas can make it to the end of this race.
Yeah, that's true. Obviously, he's got to make sure that his tyres hold together. There's yellow flags in the first sector.
Well, it's not the other two Franklin and DS cars. They're still running at the moment.
Who could it be? They've been flashing up all race, though. I don't know what's going on with it, to be honest.
I think that's just the timing screens, to be honest.
That's not a timing screen, no.
Well, it's related to the timing screens.
Anyway. Oh, that's very close.
Yeah, it's Klaas. Oh, God. Come on, lads. You've got 7 laps to go, don't you?
That's just going to be me for the rest of the race. Oh, that was quite close, wasn't it, Bradley?
I'm almost wishing that Klaas would pit now.
Oh, and you lose your 1-2. Your first since Brazil 2015. You know you don't want to lose that.
No, that's true. But Ruiz is closing on them as these two start to squabble. And Kanga is right on the back of Ruiz as well. We could, very soon, have a 4-way scrap for the lead, for the victory of this race. Oh, there's powers up onto 2 wheels. Klaas is as well. Klaas has lost it behind. And Klaas spins from second.
Lost control. Where's he going? Where's he going?
Well, there goes the 1-2.
Wow. He's probably going to have to pit now as well. After putting that kind of strain on his tyres, that's not going to be good for him at all.
Oh, I thought he'd done it again there.
He doesn't look... I think he just bottled it. He's not used to this kind of pressure, and he's just bottled that win for us.
You say that, but he soaked up quite a bit of pressure in... Well, I know he was applying the pressure in Japan, wasn't he? On the quicker tyres.
Yeah.
He had to make those moves late on, but he, as I say, he had the super softs compared to the softs to be able to get that done.
I think that that's just, you know, a mistake that's been boiling over for a while. Ever since that first spin, he's just looked uncomfortable. He's looked riled, like he let it get under his skin, which is easy to do as a rookie, but you've got to learn to obviously try and separate yourself from it.
Yeah, and the race really fell away quickly, didn't it?
Yeah. After that, it was just rapidly losing time hand over fist.
When early on, he was so quick and he was so far ahead. That he was. The lead that he built up is that's Finn Schneider right on the back of Arden Hutchinson then, as these two battle over 5th place.
Looks like Hutchinson's got a lot of front end grip through these corners actually.
As Kanga still right with Enrique Ruiz. I think that's a battle that's going to go to the end as well.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be a great battle.
But yeah, I mean, you know, as we say, Klaas was so incredibly quick in the early stages. And nearly pulled a pit stop on 2nd place and back. And since then, it's rapidly spiraled downhill. And that's what, a 3rd mistake now from Klaas? A 4th mistake in this race.
Yeah, it's just all come unravelled for him, hasn't it?
And yet, as it stands, he's still hanging on to 4th place.
Yeah, but he's going to look back on this race and think, oh, what could have been.
Oh, this is absolutely one that got away.
Definitely. Mind you, if he can make the tyres last, he might be able to come back and fight for a podium.
I think the gap's too big, to be honest. With 5 laps to go.
Possibly. He'll probably just be hoping for a mistake more than anything.
Yeah, I think the most he could do now is just try and eke those tyres to the end of the race and bring home 4th place. Oh, that's Kiara Thunder with an engine failure.
Oh no. Well, she's still going. Let's see how long she can go with it.
She's not going to go 5 laps.
No.
Oh, and that's a disaster for Holmquist then, who were on for their 2nd points.
Yeah, obviously.
But it's her running in 8th. There's Kanga on board with him then as he's closing on Enrique Ruiz, coming into the hairpin, but he's not going to make anything there. And what that is going to do, however, if Thunder does indeed retire and can't lead laps again, is it's going to put Aaron Ineson into the points positions.
So they'll still be on for their 2nd point.
Well, if he doesn't have to pit again.
through. Yeah, she got. Oh, no.
That's was the back marker of the Ocelot. I think that was there. Really cut across in as we go 3 wide into the hairpin, and Timo Kinnaman just totally cuts the corner. But it's worked, and he's actually gained a place past Felix Bayer. But he's hit the curb there on the inside.
What is going on? That is just, well, that was interesting to watch.
He's held on to it, but he kind of gained that position by really cheating.
I mean, we've seen a lot of overtakes at the hairpin before. The back straight really have been on the curbing. So
what are we? Oh! It's Kanga and Ruiz.
Oh my God!
There's
What's happened there?
Between the second and third place man. Klaas van Snelheid is through into second. Hutchinson is up onto the podium now.
Oh. Is that going to be a race for it though between Schneider and Hutchinson, and then oh no, it's a disaster. And then you've got Chiara Thunder coming in full speed. Here comes oh my goodness.
As they've all gone past, so Ruiz then has fallen to 8th place. Kanga has slipped to 10th.
Jesus,
and what
this
happened
has really
there?
heated up in the last couple of laps.
We're back on for a 1-2.
Christ almighty, what is going on? And all of this has put first in contention for their first podium.
Yeah, Hutchinson is 3rd. Well, can Finn Schneider do anything about that though? He's right with the Austrian.
Well, they were racing right into that accident and right out of it. I mean, that would be Finn Schneider's second podium, and he's, you know, once you've tasted it, he's going to want more.
Yeah, we have 3 laps to go in this Chinese V-Prix. And frankly, there's part of me that just doesn't want this to end, and part of me that wants it to finish now, before anything happens between my drivers.
Definitely understandable. And we're going to see a back marker getting right in the way.
Ruiz has to pit! No! Oh, that is absolutely heartbreaking for the Brazilian. Kanga has continued. So the only one that picked up damage in that then was Ruiz, and we've got to have a replay of what happened there.
Oh, absolutely.
And so there we go. So on board with Ruiz. So he's caught the curve and spun, and Kanga's tried to go around him, but
and then you got to wonder who drove them onto the racing line. Hutchinson.
Oh, Zynison pits then from wherever he was.
Chiara's still going though.
Yeah, Chiara Thunder in 6th place. She's got 3 more laps though.
She'll probably just be trying to turn down that engine and say, right, let's just do as much as we can to save it whilst keeping in the points. Going to be a fine balancing act.
Wow.
Finn Schneider looks he looks a bit closer this lap.
He does, and he's closing down the back straight as well. He's in the slipstream. He's getting a lot closer. And Hutchinson
don't back out of it.
Bravely covers the inside, and as you say, Schneider did back out of that.
Oh, go on, son. You can do it.
Well, we've seen Finn Schneider attack just about anyone, as there we go. Chiara Thunder pulls over then from 6th place and out of the Chinese V-Prix, and that will be devastating for her and the team, who were looking at another solid points finish there.
They were on the fringes of a double points finish for a brief moment.
Yeah, and it's all gone wrong for Holmquist in the last few laps, but not as badly wrong as it's gone for both Franklin and DS Mathershaw, with both of their cars colliding.
They're going to be livid, absolutely livid with their drivers.
Although, it's worked out quite nicely for us.
I've got to admit, a lot of the Downton and the midfield teams have definitely benefited from this.
Although, I don't want to... Oh! Schneider up on the curb, and it's sideways.
You've got to wonder, and
I'm sure that's going to be the... I think, as you say, he's thrown that away now. There's a Franklin in the pit. Is that Ruiz in the pits again? It is!
That is not a Franklin.
That is a Franklin.
What's he doing? What's he doing in the pits?
That's his 4th stop. So for some reason... No, that's his 5th stop. So for some reason, Ruiz has had to pit yet again. For the 2nd time after contact with Alar Kanga.
Oh, they might have had more contact.
And that's put Sykes into 10th.
Go on, Sykes. Have North Star scored points yet?
Yeah, they score points in the first race. As Nathaniel Powers then starts the final lap of this race, Klaas van Snelheid has, I believe, gone through as well, so he was able to eke these tyres out.
Yeah, fair play.
And to be honest, I'm a little bit speechless.
It's just been one of those races, really, where it's just all kicked off in the last 5 or 6 laps.
I don't think...
As we've got... Sorry, go on.
Well, no, I was just going to say, I don't think the racing has been as good as we've seen in the first 3 races, but it's certainly been a lot more action-packed.
You say that, but we've seen a lot of overtakes down at turn 1. Ooh, Schneider is actually right back with Hutchinson,
yeah,
so
that's
he
very
might
true.
get one more chance.
Yeah,
but...
as... well, this is Nathaniel Powers then. I believe that was Ruiz behind him, so I think he's put a lap on Enrique Ruiz.
Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Ruiz is behind Einarson. Well, I mean... Ruiz has had a bad result, so obviously we'll be looking at Franklin replacing him in the next day or two.
Wow,
So...
Giordano's retired, so they're both out the door.
Oh boy. Jochen van Snelheid is still running, and he's, you know, how far ahead of his teammate?
Beckenbauer retired, didn't he?
Oh, even better. We don't want to focus on this. Come on.
No, yeah, Nathaniel Powers must be about to cross the line. And there he is then, round the final corner. Comes Nathaniel Powers. He's taken 2 poles so far this season, but hasn't managed to do anything with them. But now, Powers wins the Chinese V-Prix. And it's good for Downton because surely Klaas van Snelheid is going to come home in 2nd place.
Yeah, he's going to collect that. He's going to be gutted that he lost the win, but...
Van Snelheid even up onto 2 wheels. He finishes the race as he's pretty much taken the whole thing. And Van Snelheid second. It's a 1-2 for Downton. But this is surely going to be the most impressive result. Arden Hutchinson rounds the final corner. He nearly threw that away, but he's going to hold on. Hutchinson takes first podium. Schneider through in 4th place. Will Hoskins is going to take 5th for AMR as... Timo Kinnaman's 6th for Westwood. I think he'll be a little disappointed with that. Felix Bayer nearly throws away 7th at the final corner, but he doesn't. He holds on. Kanga salvages 8th after that late contact with Enrique Ruiz. Elroy Wagner is going to pick up 9th place, unless Welch, as he takes the final corner on 2 wheels as well. And I do believe that Sykes will probably pick up the final point, just hold off Aaron Einarson in 10th place. But wow, the last 20 laps or so of that have been absolutely chaotic. I thought the top 6 were going to be the 2 Downtons, the 2 Franklins and the 2 DS Mathershaws, but 4 of them imploded, and it's left it with a Downton 1-2 and Arden Hutchinson with his and first's maiden podium.
You can only imagine that the drivers debriefing heads are going to roll at both teams.
Well, I wouldn't really say any of those incidents were anyone's fault.
Well... True.
There was an awful lot of bad luck there.
Yeah.
But wow, that's played into our hands. It's a 1-2 then for Downton. Nathaniel Powers with his first victory of the season ahead of Klaas van Snelheid and Arden Hutchinson. So, after 3 and a bit seasons and 61 barren races, Nathaniel Powers is a winner again in Formula Virtual. The victor of the Chinese V-Prix ahead of Klaas van Snelheid, who is easily the fastest man today, but many mistakes let him down. But the biggest surprise has to be Arden Hutchinson in 3rd. A fantastic drive to take first's maiden podium, while there's some high-profile retirements. Both Franklins and DS Mathershaws came unstuck today. But regardless of that, Adrian Simon remains in the lead of the Drivers' Championship. His lead was over a win heading into it. Was always going to happen. Klaas van Snelheid still 2nd. Powers up to 3rd ahead of Finn Schneider, while Kanga and Enrique Ruiz slipped down the standings following their collision and respective poor results today. In the Constructors' Championship then, it's now Downton on top with 102 points. They head DS Mathershaw by 7. Westwood's great result and Franklin's non-score has taken the Renault Power team up to 3rd. But that's all from our race here today in Shanghai. So from both me and Harry, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time for round 5 from Paul Ricard, France.